Layered? I'm not asking for anything. That guy looks like he has leprosy.
What do you think leprosy looks like? He's a junkie.
How do you know he's a junkie?
I asked him. I mean, we were talking once by the mailboxes.
Oh, yeah, totally. No, all the junkies in my building totally hang out by the mailboxes.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Boys Watching Girls. We're just two boys watching HBO's Girls. We are your hosts. I'm Joe Welke.
I'm Vance.
And Yorma is back, baby, in a big way. He is here to fuck you, and you're gonna be scared because he's a man and he knows how to do things. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry, I can't contain my excitement.
You were way too excited for Booth Jonathan reappearance in the show.
Oh my god, dude. Delivered is my favorite line in this show so far a while ago.
Episode 3.
And boy, is he back with a vengeance. Emphasis on vengeance, because I don't know what the fuck this dude's deal is, but oh boy. But before we do all of that, today we are reviewing Season 2, Episode 3, overall Episode 13. This is titled Bad Friend. It is directed by Jesse Peretz, written by Lena Dunham and Sarah Hayward. Original air date January 27th, 2013. Big jump in viewers, big jump. Last episode had 0.572 million viewers. This one, 0.759, up 200,000 viewers.
But still pretty low considering first season was floating around like 0.8 a lot.
Yeah. They had 1 million at certain points,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
the big news of this episode, Yorma's back, baby. Booth Jonathan. You're gonna be afraid when he fucks you for the first time.
I'm afraid of him in general.
Yeah. You're gonna be afraid. And
not-
now we know why.
Yeah, he's a big weirdo, as you could
We thought
expect.
Adam was a weirdo.
Oh, man. Is he ever going to meet Adam? Oh, man.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
What are your initial thoughts on this? Before we delve into the gritty details.
I wouldn't even say it's that gritty. For the line that you love so much, what we end up getting from it is not...
The first time I fuck you, you're gonna be afraid because I'm a man and I know how to do things.
Yeah, you're expecting... That puts the bar pretty high.
Oh yeah.
And like, even for some of the sex scenes we've seen in this show, it's not. But overall, it's a fun episode.
It's a fun episode.
Not too much happens.
Yeah,
Of consequence. Like a big thing happens.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't feel like a big thing. And the way it's acted out doesn't seem like it's a big thing.
Yeah, it just was kind of like a throwaway. It seemed
Yeah.
like. This is a Hannah and Marnie heavy episode.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of Shoshana, Jessa. I don't even know why they were in this episode.
We have one of those rare scenes where all 4 of them are together.
Yeah, all 4 of them together, but it's like pointless. There's no reason for all 4 of them to be together. I don't get it.
I will say Shoshana still manages to get like a great line in.
Yeah.
With her limited time on screen, and
Yeah.
the delivery is just perfect. Yeah.
Vance.
I think let's just start this with
This
let's just start this
episode-
with the cold. Let's just go kind of in order with this one. I feel like
Yeah.
we can go in order and then we can split off with the Marnie and Hannah and decide if you want to save your boy.
Yeah, oh yeah. This, we can go in order. This episode made me feel like I was on drugs. It's like a fever dream. All of these episodes seem so much longer than they are.
Yeah, this one felt real. I was like, oh, we're wrapping up because they've been doing this for a while, and then
Yeah.
it's like, oh no, there's still like a whole like piece left to this.
Yeah. I just don't know
and
what
I don't
to
feel like a
say.
lot happened in it. Like,
Yeah, but a lot
well,
did happen.
Yeah.
I don't get this show, dude. Why are we doing this?
We're doing it because we love giving people insight into the way our minds work.
Yeah,
when we watch this show.
we're the voice of the voiceless, aka dudes who have never seen this show and now are just watching it 7 to 10 years later.
So let's just dive into the beginning of the show. It opens with Hannah at a job interview at a place called jazzhate.com.
Yeah.
and they want her to work as a freelancer, paying her $200 an article,
which is a great rate.
Which is a great rate.
That's an amazing.
Yeah.
I worked as a freelancer writing articles for like a similar. That place, the interview that she had, the structure of the building. I had an interview at Elite Daily back when Elite Daily was like a big thing.
Yeah.
And I was doing a lot of freelance for them, and then I had an interview to do like full time, and that interview was so reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
Just a lady, you're sitting on a couch, and then some lady just walks over and she's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm gonna be interviewing you." That interview was the worst interview I've ever had in my entire life. It was like the lady that was interviewing me, and this isn't what made it bad, but she was one of the hottest people I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay. She asked me questions like, so, you know, like the typical interview shit, like, what makes you think you're going to be good for this job? What perspective do you bring? And as soon as she was finished asking the question, she was looking at her phone and like texting people. And I was like, why am I even here? Like, what are you doing? So this scene was very much like, yeah, I've been here before a lot.
Well, it seemed like the interview was over. And
yeah.
It was like, that's one of those, I've gone to those interviews where it's like, it's really just a meet and greet. Because, like, send in an article. If we like it, we'll publish it. If not, we won't. Like, kind of thing. That's what it seems like. It seems like they're not even going to commission what she should write about, really.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, yeah, we're just on a freelance basis if you come up with something. And then...
But $200 an hour. Dude, I was getting like 25 on Elite Daily.
Yeah, I mean, that's
insane.
Yeah.
You could write one article a day and make $1,000 a week.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Like, how in-depth is this article?
Well,
what kind of journalism is Jazz Hate
well, they said
doing?
Either have a threesome and write about it, or do some coke and write about it.
Yeah.
That was the pitch.
Yeah, because the whole thing of this company is like, get outside your comfort zone. And it was like they had this framed thing that said, this is where your comfort zone is, and then there was a circle outside of it and said, this is where the magic happens. And I've been to so many fucking interviews that have that same kind of bullshit.
Oh yeah, that's one of the like cheesiest, like
cliche nonsense.
She's like, have you seen The Wall? Like the boss, like, have you, like, yeah, I get it. Like, and it just goes on for a while, and it doesn't really. When you leave that, I don't think Hannah's gonna go, oh yeah, let me go do coke and do this.
Yeah, I didn't think that she was going to be like that was her mission.
I did not think this was going to be the episode.
No,
I didn't realize that was.
I thought that she was going to like turn it down and be like, I don't want to do coke,
or like I'm going to write this other article and they're not going to take it, and like, but this is real.
Going to send one of her like sad, sappy.
Yeah, her essays.
Like I was dating a sex addict or something.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, last episode, Adam goes to jail. No follow-up on that.
Oh, yeah, no follow-up.
No follow-up whatsoever. Adam not mentioned at all.
But this is par for the course. This show,
Dude, this
the episode
show.
before never deals with... The next episode never deals with exactly what happened in the episode before. Like, we have to wait an episode or two before we even find out what happened with Adam.
Yeah, I feel like you have to watch the show every other episode to get the storylines.
Maybe that's why these numbers are the way they are. Like, people just choose when to skip.
Yeah, like the audience, the viewer numbers.
Yeah, they're like, okay, I'm going to watch episode 5 to figure out what happened to Adam. Like,
yeah, I mean, a lot happened. Like, Adam's in jail because he was stalking her and harassing her, and no mention of it at all.
No mention of it. No mention of, like, oh, no, like, I don't know if he's going to come back. I'm scared for my safety.
Well, that's where I thought she was. I thought she was in, like, some kind of police place at the beginning of this episode. And then it was, like, a lady talking on the phone, and I was like, that's not something that would be said at a police place.
A police station? Or just
police place? No, it's just a place. It's just a place.
Oh, yeah, like, I mean, and we don't see any of, I wanted to find out more about Jessa and those puppies, too.
No follow-up on the puppies.
I want to find out more about Jessa's life in general at this point.
Yeah, because the next scene that we see is Hannah's walking up to Jessa, and Shoshana and Marnie are having like a yard sale, but it's called like
sale.
It's like Marnie's Vintage Boutique or some shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know whose clothes are being sold.
I think there's Marnie. I think they mentioned at one point. No, maybe this is an old episode where they were mentioning Marnie selling her stuff. But now I don't know why she's selling her clothes.
I don't know either.
because it looks like they're selling Marnie stuff. Maybe because the last boss ripped her wardrobe.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. And she doesn't need the money now because she has a job. She has the job where she's making, what, $400 a day as a hostess at a place. Which seems like she's more than a hostess when we see her work. Like, she's...
Well, also...
yeah, we'll get to it, but yeah. So anyway, they're on the stoop. They're selling... it's Jessa, Shoshana, Marnie selling stuff. And then Hannah comes up. She's like, Jessa, you're the person to go to. Where can I get some Coke?
Which, smart.
Yeah, that's
smart
the one you go to.
Smart plan. She goes, and then Jessa's like, who's it for, Adam? She's like, no, it's for me. I'm trying to write an article about doing Coke. Like, wow.
And I was like, wow,
just jumping right into this.
I was like, that happened. Like,
that's a big leap, dude.
Yeah. She said she hasn't done it before. And it's so strange because what did they say? Ask, how did they end up talking about Laird?
Well, Jessa, I think Jessa kind of denies her, and then Marnie just jumps in. She's like, why don't you just ask the junkie in your building on the first floor? Yeah. And Hannah's like, oh, okay. And then that's the end of, Shoshana says something.
Well, no,
I forget what it is.
They go like, oh, what? Like, how do you know that he's... And she's like, I talked to him over by the mailboxes.
Yeah.
And Shoshana goes, all the junkies in my building hang out by the mailboxes.
Yeah.
Like, so, matter of fact.
Yeah.
And, like, Jessa doesn't chime in anything else after this. I think it's weird that Marnie even talked to anyone in the building, especially someone that was a junkie or looked shady.
Yeah.
Like, it goes against her whole
exactly.
personality.
And then, like, they mention about how Shoshana's having sex now, and Ray just wants to watch old episodes of Ally McBeal. And then that's it. Like, what?
Yeah.
What are they doing with these characters?
It's fun. I don't know. Like,
we know nothing.
We'll see next episode.
About Jessa.
Yeah, Jessa got...
she's married.
We're 3 episodes into the second season, right?
Yes.
And we've seen her with her husband, like, once, really.
Yeah.
Because the first episode, when they came back from the wedding, it was just them coming from the honeymoon.
They stole a cab.
Yeah.
Then the last episode, they had the puppies, and she was painting him.
Which was, like, too much. That was too much to see. And now,
but even that was very brief.
Yeah.
And now it's just, like, Jess is sitting on a stoop.
Yeah.
And that's it for that.
No, it's a Marnie. It's a Marnie
Hannah episode.
And Elijah's a big part.
Yeah. Oh, Elijah, the savior of this show. Elijah is great.
He's
Andrew
hilarious.
Rannells, fucking fantastic.
You've had a man crush on him forever, though.
I believe. Fucking Book of Mormon, dude. He sung the shit out of that song at the Tony Awards.
Okay. I can't. Okay. All right.
God. So
Hannah ends up going back to her building, right? This is what happens. She goes to her building and she goes to meet up with Laird, played by John Glazer. From Delocated, and Jeremy Jan from Parks and Rec.
He's been in a lot of stuff. Oh, he
pops up everywhere.
He seems like an improv, like pop up everywhere UCB kind of guy.
Yeah, he's a comic. Like he's great.
He's great.
Yeah,
he's great in this episode too. Yeah. She goes into his place and he's like, it's awkward. He's got like stuff all over his windows to block the light, and he's just kind of sitting there. There's some kind of weird cartoon on his TV show, on his TV, and he's like, "Why? What are you doing here?" Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, just hanging." He's like, "Why did Marnie leave?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "What do you mean?"
He mentions like how like none of their mail's the same and they don't get along and they shouldn't be roommates, but like
it's like like you have different schedules, you're different, you don't like any of the same stuff. Yeah, but like you seem like good roommates.
Yeah.
And Hannah's just kind of looking around his apartment, and it legit looks like a junkie's apartment.
Yeah.
He's got nothing going on except for he's got a turtle.
Well, he's dressed more like a...
He looks more like a weed dealer.
A hippie weed dealer kind of thing. Like, he's got a lot of vibes of Woodstockian vibes. Like,
he's got like a crocheted beanie, and he's got like a drug rug on.
Yeah, I don't know if we see his feet, but I can see him wearing like wool socks and Birkenstocks or something.
Yeah,
like
flip flops or something.
Yeah, he's like like a stone on like that 70s show or something. Like,
Yeah.
But he doesn't look high, and he doesn't look like a junkie.
The only evidence supporting that he looks high is just how he's dressed.
Yeah, but like mannerisms, I'm looking at him, I'm like, this guy is not. Like he's offering her like pomegranate juice. And but like he's way too lucid.
Yeah.
for a junkie at this point. But she calls him out. She's like, "Oh, I know you're a junkie, and I wanted to buy some coke."
Yeah. Just like, hey, let's cut to the chase here.
Yeah.
I know you're a junkie.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he thought, and this was the point where he thought she was there because like she liked him or something, because he had always seen her around and kind of liked her. And she says that, and he's like, "No, I'm clean.
Yeah, I'm sober now."
Oh.
And he's like, "But I do know people that have coke.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you should do it, and I don't think you should go down this path." And Hannah's just like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Just no respect for the guy.
Yeah, no respect for a guy that's
She's asking
recovering.
him for like kind of hard drugs.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You shouldn't do this."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Just give me the coke, loser, with your turtle."
And then he says something where like, "All right, I'll do it," or something. Like it's some line about like, "I'll do it too," or he said
something about like how he always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
We didn't really pay that much attention to this episode.
Well, we paid attention.
We paid attention.
I just didn't hear. I wasn't sure that last line if he was saying, "Oh, I haven't done," like maybe he hasn't done coke either, because he's later we see he has heroin.
Yeah. So the next thing, are we going by character, or are we going by like order of the episode?
Whichever way you want to drive.
Let's just go by
ship.
character.
Whichever way you want to drive the ship. You want to continue with Hannah?
Yeah, let's continue with Hannah.
Yeah, and then we'll meet up at the end with Marnie.
Yeah. So then she's back in her place. She got the coke. Don't see it happen.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, they got the coke. She got the
She's
coke.
just like painting her nails in her room, and Elijah's talking with her, and they're like making a plan of like how to do coke.
Yeah.
So Elijah's roped into this now. Elijah's going to do coke.
And he is excited.
He is pumped.
Yeah.
He's like, "I want to go dancing. We got to do all this cool stuff
Yeah.
that Andrew are DJing at this club." Yeah. And she's like, "Who's Andrew and Andrew's?" Like, "There's this gay couple that named themselves Andrew, and they dress alike, and they're iPad DJs, etc." And he's pumped about it. And Hannah's like, "Well, when should we do it? Why can't we just do it like right now? It's 4:00 in the afternoon." And then he's like, "I don't know. Does that seem a little like gauche?" Yeah. And she's like, "I mean, we're doing coke."
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right."
I always thought like everyone always does coke so late and then just stays up all night. And I was always wondering like, why not just do it like at noon and you could go to sleep at like a normal hour?
Conquer
but the thing
day.
about coke is you're not gonna stop doing coke until you have to stop doing it.
Yeah, the people that I know that have done coke, they're like, number one, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And number two, you just end up wanting more and more and more.
Yeah, so I think it's better to start late so that it gets to a point where like, okay, I can't have more.
Yeah.
It's like day drinking. You're not going to want to sober up. And day drinking, it's like you're drinking during the day and like that's your whole day. Like you're not going to stop drinking at like 8:00 and just like sober up. Like it's just going to ride all the way until you go to sleep. And
I need to make it known that I know nothing about any of this. I've never drank. I've never done any drugs or anything.
I've never done coke, but I've
this
done
is all
a lot
just,
of boozing.
This is all just like from people what they've told me. I'm such a nerd. I'm a fucking nerd, dude.
Articles you've read.
So they do the coke, and then they start. This is the scene this is what I hated about it. Is they start going off on like this cliched like, "Oh, let's make all these plans and like I always wanted to raise a show dog, and I always wanted to do this, and I always wanted to do that," and they're just like moving moving their shoulders a lot.
Well,
like,
he's like he's sitting behind her, massaging her, and like she's like, because you don't see them do the coke right there, like but it's kind of like on the table, you can kind of see, like, and he's talking about doing show dogs, and she's ranting about wanting to get married and testing out cakes. Yeah, dude, it's just a bunch. I mean, it's like it's not bad. It's just like
I thought it was real cliche and stupid.
Yeah, it's just like random.
And then they're like, "Are we writing this down? We should write this down." She's like, "Oh my god, I'm a writer, and I didn't think to write this down." Yeah. And he's like, "Let's get a notebook." And then she's running to get a notebook, and then Elijah's like, "No, we need to make our mark." And she's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "We need to make our mark." And then Hannah just goes, like in urine?
Yeah.
He's like, no, let's write it. Let's write it on the walls. So Hannah's like, what a great idea. So she gets a marker and writes, I raise a show dog on her wall. And Elijah's like, that's mine.
Yeah.
That's my goal. Why are you writing it in your wall?
Yeah.
And that's basically that.
Yeah. That's it. And then, well, I mean, it's like, really, we should just skip to them when they get to the club.
Well, they're freaking out by the subway, which
again, nothing. We should just go to the club.
There.
Like nothing. Like
so, then they go to this like rave kind of club kind of.
Oh, we have to talk about what she's dressed as. She's Elijah's picked out Hannah's outfit, and it's like a mashup of a girl who had sex with her uncle and cousin or something. And it's like these like shorts and like this.
The shorts, but they had like cherry print all over them.
Yeah,
is
and
that
they kind of like
was?
flare out, and then there's this white tank top crop top thing. Yeah,
tank top crop top.
It's just like it's almost as if it would be like for a really busty woman, it would be like a sports bra size.
But is there fruit on that as well? I think that there's fruit on that as well.
Possibly. I just know it was like white and had some design on it. I wasn't paying too.
I don't know. All I know is it clashed horribly. It was not good.
That was his thing. His thing was like, oh, this is called clashing, or this is like something mixed clash or something. He had a name for it. What he was doing, he was taking two outfits and smashing them together.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But he was dressed like in like a sweater and like he looked put together.
He looked like really preppy.
Yeah.
But Hannah just looked like garbage, as per usual. You know what? I'll give her credit. At the job interview, she looked pretty good.
Oh yeah, when she came back to John Glazer's Laird's place, like she looks like she's a business oriented. Yeah. Like she's got the blouse and
his blouse button up, and like a business skirt kind of thing. That I respected. But this fit didn't.
Well, I mean, this is Elijah dressing up his like plaything to just come out with him.
That's true.
Yeah, she did not pick this outfit out.
So then they go to this rave club. Everything is glowing. They're on coke. This is like they're fully into it. Yeah. They're on coke. They're screaming at each other that they love each other and they're the sexiest couple here, and they're not even a couple, and
they're the sexiest non-sexual couple.
Yeah. And it's a good time.
Yeah, and she starts dancing with this guy that's wearing like a mesh tank top.
Well, she goes to dance. She leaves Elijah, and he's like, "Where are?" He doesn't realize it, and then he looks over and she's gone, and he's like, "Who took you? Yeah. Where is Hannah?" Yeah. And she's dancing with some guy with a mesh shirt.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, they just like exchange shirts. Hannah just is topless on the dance floor, and the guy puts on her like fruit tank top, crop top. She's wearing a mesh, neon green mesh shirt. You can see her boobs.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely see-through. Like so basically, Hannah Lena Dunham is topless the rest of this episode. Yeah. She does not change from this and moves from multiple locations.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like it'd be pretty cold unless it's summer. That's still.
It just seems like something that you probably couldn't walk through a Dwayne Reed in, which she does.
Yeah, which she eventually does.
I don't know if that fits the whole shirt shoes rule.
Here's the thing: is I feel like I've seen a lot of women that I would never want to see wearing just a mesh shirt. Wearing a mesh shirt. I've seen that a lot in New York. It's never anybody that you would like want to see wearing a mesh shirt.
You mean a mesh shirt with nothing underneath?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some guys wearing mesh shirts with nothing
Bro,
underneath.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna fucking be like Jeff Hardy from WWE in the fucking early 2000s. Team Extreme, baby.
Years ago, I worked on a movie with this grip, and like as a joke, we dared him like kind of to wear like a mesh shirt like that,
mm-hmm.
and he did it while like key gripping this feature, and it was just so funny, man. We had a lot of fun on that one.
I might do that.
Yeah.
I might get a mesh. Oh, I can't. My New Year's resolution was to not buy any clothes this year.
Dude, you don't have to buy a mesh shirt. You'll just find one.
No mesh shirt is bought.
If you wish it, if you can believe in it, it will come.
I mean, I wore a crop top to my show. We were talking about this earlier. I wore a crop top to my fucking show last night. It was a big smash hit.
You're such a Hannah.
I need to start wearing crop top tank tops with fruit patterns on it.
All right, well, let's get back.
Anyway, she's wearing a crop top. This is when, and Elijah eventually comes to meet with her, and they start dancing together. And this is when the kind of iconic girls song. I think I told you this. I don't know if you realized this, but like this scene, the Iconopop / Charlie XCX. I don't care. I love it. That song got big from this episode. I think
it's perfectly placed in this episode. Like,
yeah,
it's a fun little montage of them dancing and singing, and like
having
fun,
fucking
and
sweating.
Yeah,
on coke.
I didn't realize that this was the thing that made that song pop.
I think so.
Okay,
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain that this episode of Girls made that song like a thing. It's a good song.
All right, yeah,
it's all right.
Yeah, I got no problem with it.
Okay. Anyway, so they're going to do more coke.
Yeah, this is where we get into a little bit of meat of this episode.
Yeah, this starts getting real sketch.
They are in the bathroom doing coke. Like they are in it.
They do it
and
again.
Win it.
So they've done coke at their place.
Yeah, they're just gonna do it until they run out.
Then they did more coke in the toilet of this rave place.
They bought a lot of coke. I will say this: that she's gonna have to write a couple articles to pay for this coke.
Yeah, man. And then that's when, they do the coke in the toilet. Then they do the I Don't Care song. Mm-hmm. Then they're doing more coke in the toilet. Because they're like, we need to do more coke. Mm. And it's the second time that they do coke that they're feeling so good. They're like, I love coke. This is my favorite drug in the whole wide world. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do this forever. And Elijah's like, yeah, I feel so good right now. I feel like I can tell you anything. I feel like I can do anything. Like, here's this. I fucked Marnie. And Hannah's like, what?
And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, she's like, can't believe this is happening. Like,
and Elijah's just like doing more coke. He's like, yeah, I feel like this is great. Like, this is like a therapy session. Yeah. Cocaine rules. Yeah. And I fucked Marnie, and it's like not a big deal. And then Hannah stands up and she starts freaking the fuck out. No, like we all knew she was gonna.
Now, let me ask you this. Would you have liked for her to find out in a different scenario than to be like high on coke and then like this club scenario?
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like her reaction would have been the exact same if she wasn't on coke.
Yeah. I feel like she would have had a big reaction, but like, would you rather seen a more sober reaction to it, or? No, this is fine. Would you have? Maybe, but also I'm happy that this is over with because I don't find it a big deal. Yeah. Personally. Like, I don't care that Elijah.
Well, that's what Elijah's trying to get across. Yeah. He was like, Hannah's like, you fucked Marnie?
But you know the show was going to treat it like a big deal.
Yeah. And Elijah's like, yeah, I mean, we fucked. I mean, she smelled good. And she's like, did you smell her hair? Did you feel her ribs? He was like, yeah, her hair smelled pretty good. She was very ribby. Yeah. And Hannah's just like, well, what happened? Like, did you fucked her? Like, you... And this is where we're getting back to my point of, like, I don't think that I wouldn't qualify that as fucking. No. Remember, like, the last... Yeah, I had that heel
the hooking up
thing.
Yeah.
So he's like, I mean... Hannah's like, did you ejaculate? And he's like, to be honest, like, it was like 3 pumps and I lost my boner, like, immediately. And then Hannah's just like, I can't believe you would do this. Yeah. And then they're in a Dwayne Reed and Hannah's still like, I can't believe you do this to me.
She says this line, like, I was meant to be your last.
Yeah. And Elijah's like,
yeah. Like, do you mean that you don't think that's about any other women after you? And like, why does it matter? And it wasn't about you at all.
Yeah, this is about my discovery of who I am and like that I'm gay or whatever.
And it didn't matter. Like, it has nothing to do with
and Hannah just keeps being like, I can't believe you do this to me. Mm-hmm. And Elijah's like, of course, you're making this all about you. Yeah. This is about me and my journey through my sexual identity and orientation and how I perceive the world or whatever, which is a good point.
No, I mean, he didn't do that to hurt Hannah. And it had nothing to do with her. And it's a person that it's 2 people she knows. Yeah. Having sex with each other.
And it's also...
But that's it. Like, they're like... She doesn't have feelings for Elijah like that.
Yeah,
Marnie's,
also, Elijah and Marnie were both drunk at that time, too.
Well, that's...
And, like, there was a lot of shit going on. Like, George was embarrassing Elijah.
I mean, it's more in the whole George thing, breaking up with him because of that.
Yeah.
Like, that's the person that should feel a certain way, and he did. And he left. But, like, Marnie shouldn't feel bad about it.
Nope.
Elijah should feel bad about the thing he did with Bo, but, like, he shouldn't feel like it's Hannah. Like, he was right. Just don't tell Hannah because, like, whatever.
Yeah. But she's freaking out. And then they're in a drugstore. Hannah's wearing her mesh top with her titties hanging out.
Yep.
Nipples poking through the mesh. Painting a picture for you guys. And then, out of nowhere, Laird walks by, the junkie.
Well, this is after she kisses him.
Oh, right.
She
Right.
kisses Elijah. Like,
Elijah.
and she pulls Elijah in and kisses her, and he goes, "When did you eat jerky?"
Yes. I have that written down. I can't believe I forgot that. She kisses him, and his immediate reaction is like, "When did you eat jerky?" It's like, fuck, dude. Elijah's hilarious, dude.
And it's perfect because he said, what did he say that Marnie tasted like?
Like Trident layers or something.
Trident layers.
And awful lip balm.
Like lip balm and Trident layers or something. Yeah,
petroleum lip balm and Trident layers.
Yeah. And now Hannah tastes like jerky.
Yeah. That's like that, what's that movie? Where Paul Rudd kisses some girl and he's like, "You taste like cheeseburgers. I don't like you anymore." Wet Hot American Summer. Yeah. So good.
So yeah, then Laird shows up, pops around a corner, or he walks by really quick. And the first time I saw him, I was like, "Oh no, this dude's back on drugs."
Yeah, that's what I thought because they were in a drugstore.
Yeah, and then they walk
and then
a couple aisles down.
Hannah sees him and she's like, "Laird?"
Yeah,
and then they're walking. She's like, "Laird?"
Yeah,
and then he eventually gets caught.
Yeah, and
they're like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm just looking for socks."
Yeah,
it's like, really, socks at the drugstore? And he's like, a little known fact, these are like the best socks and blah blah blah. And they're like, "What are you fucking actually doing here?"
She's like, "Are you following me?"
Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah."
But I was like, I didn't even get that he was following. Has he been in the club? Had you just been
yeah, I didn't.
I wouldn't have jumped to the conclusion that he was following him.
I wonder if we look back and watch this, if we were to watch those scenes in the club again, if Laird's lurking in the background, you just don't ever see it.
That would be great. I don't see myself rewatching this episode.
No, I won't ever.
But please chime in and let us know if he's in the back row.
This is a one-time go-through for me. I'm never going to watch this show ever again after we're done doing this podcast.
No, this is a rewatch 5 years later. We'll just rewatch this whole thing again. And we'll do the same podcast.
Do a 5 year... Yeah, the same podcast 5 years later. Make it like it's a new thing.
Yeah.
Call it Guys Watching Girls.
Once they come out with the remake of this show called Ladies, that's when we'll jump in.
Oh, women.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Laird's he's crying. He's like, I'm here. I'm watching you. I've been following you because I want to protect you.
Yeah, he feels terrible. He's been a junkie. He's recovering, and he just bought drugs for someone else. He's sending someone else down a path.
He's like, I can't believe I bought you drugs. And they're like, no, it's fun. And Elijah's so ecstatic. Yeah. He's like, no, yeah, it's fucking great. I love coke.
And they're like, and Hannah's like, I said thank you.
Yeah.
Completely not getting
I thought Laird was high at this point because his eyes were all red and bloodshot and weird.
He looked more I was worried he was relapsing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I guess he was just emotionally distraught. And he pulls out a bag of
he's like, I need you to take this.
Yeah.
And then Elijah's like, is it more coke?
Yeah.
They're like, is it more coke? And he goes, no, it's not. It's H. And then Elijah immediately goes, damn.
And then he just take and then he has to force him to take it. And we'll take it. It's fine.
I don't know why he had that though. Why did he have H?
Why did he have H?
Why did he have heroin?
Why did he have heroin? What do you mean? He's a junkie. He went to buy the coke. He bought heroin while he was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
He was gonna do heroin.
He's gonna do it himself.
Yeah, he's a junkie. You can't put him in a buffet of drugs and expect him.
Good point. Good point.
So that's why he was take it. I was like, please take this H, and also take it really quick because you're in a
you just have heroin out in public.
Yeah, she's basically topless with drugs in their pocket.
Yeah, a lot of illegal shit going on.
But no one comes up to him. Nobody in the store. You know,
Nope.
It's late. Whatever. It's probably 1-2 people working there.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, they take the heroin. Hopefully, they just trash it and never do it. But who knows what?
Or sell it if they were smart.
I don't think selling that one little bag of heroin would be worth the.
Yeah, I don't know. You get $25, or I don't know. I don't know how much heroin goes for.
Yeah.
Probably
Joe,
more than $25.
non-drinking, non-drunk. I'll sell it. Yeah.
Because I'm a fucking businessman, dude.
Yeah, you know the people
Dude,
that
if you
buy
just
heroin?
found-
You know
if
the
you-
people buying heroin?
If you just found a bunch of coke, like several bricks of cocaine, what would you do with it?
Walk away.
You're
Several
dumb, dude.
bricks
I
of
would
cocaine?
take it and sell it, bro.
Oh, that's somebody's cocaine.
Yeah, I'll
Have
end
you not
up
watched
dead.
any movie ever?
Yeah, but who cares?
Who cares? Like the people that want that coke. Once
How
you
are they
start
gonna
selling
find
it,
me?
Once this new person on the market,
They're
starts
not
selling,
gonna find you.
How are you gonna sell the coke? Who are you
Just
gonna
sell it to
to?
my friends.
You're just gonna sell it to all your comedian friends?
Yeah. Comics like cocaine. I'll sell some to you.
I don't want cocaine.
It's only $25.
Only $25? Jeez. I think people would buy it from me.
Has anyone ever offered you cocaine?
Oh yeah, like there
Wow,
have been
brag
like
more.
Oh, you're bragging about being stalked. I'll brag about people.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Well, you don't really get offered cocaine the way you do. Like, it's not like people are passing
Yeah.
a joint around. They're like, here. Like, cocaine is still one of those drugs that, like,
It's done in
we had,
secrecy.
at one point, like, we had, like, a bunch of people had, like, coke at our apartment. Like, everybody in it was doing it. I wasn't doing the coke, not, like, bragging or judging or anything like that. I just wasn't doing coke. And, like, people would still go to the bathroom to do the coke in secrecy in a place where everyone's doing coke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's still one of those drugs that, because it's pricey and there's not a lot of it and everyone always wants to keep doing it. So it's not one of those things you just, like, share.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know. I don't know anything about drugs.
Except for I did go to a New Year's party once and there was a big mound of it on the table.
A big mound of coke?
Yeah.
Just
It was
like
kinda
a
crazy.
pile?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Where was this?
This was in New York, like just some people's apartment.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, you know.
Was it like a really nice apartment? Were these people rich?
It wasn't. I mean,
All their money went to the coke.
I think everyone chipped in on this, and this is like they've been saving up for the year for this Coke party.
All right.
Yeah.
I think now is when we should transition to Marnie, because this is where the stories start to kind of converge.
Yeah, so they get a phone call and they're going to go meet up with Marnie.
Yeah, with Marnie.
And Laird's coming with them.
Yeah,
so these
because-
three are on their adventure to go to Marnie, which will pick up her story now and tie it all together.
Yeah. So Marnie's at work. She's dressed. You know what? I'm going to say this. Marnie is looking, since she's got this job, she looks super, super hot.
Yeah,
Just
she
my
looks-
opinion. I think she looks really good.
Yeah, she looks good.
She's got her hair like feathered or something. I don't know what's going on. She looks different and she looks better and she looks hot.
And the first thing we see when she's at work is her
Yep.
walking by, getting the ass groped.
Yep. Some guy like grabs her. It's like a waist grab, but you know what it is. It's an
Yeah.
ass grab.
It's one of those like power play. Like
Yeah.
the guy that they cast for this is literally like white business dude.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what Hannah was talking about in
Yeah.
the last episode. She's like, you're working at that place?
Hey, I mean, Hannah was getting groped at a
Yeah.
publishing place too.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, no matter where you go,
Yeah.
these women are dealing with it. So, yeah, Hannah's walking. This guy's like,
Marnie's walking.
Marnie's walking, and then this guy grabs her, starts doing the like, the flirting with your wait staff, the waiter.
And Marnie's flirting back
back
because
a
she knows how to get tips,
She's
bro.
flirting back, but it's like
It's disgusting.
It's when Marnie flirts back, you know she hates you.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
It's not like, oh yeah, this is working out. It's like, no, she just no.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, bring some drinks over, blah blah. We'll be in a good mood, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
She starts to walk away, and then that's when we spot.
Yorma Tacone.
AKA
Booth
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
These names.
Yeah, what a terrible name.
Thomas John and Booth Jonathan.
Well, these are fucking Williamsburg people. They have these names.
But Thomas John wasn't a Williamsburg person.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But he's a Williamsburg person. I mean, none of these people are Williamsburg people.
Well, you're the one who said it.
They're
I'm already-
transplants. Get out of here.
So why are you saying they're Williamsburg people? They're just
I'm
people
just going
with
to call
real
him
names.
Yorma Tacone. Which is also a fucking Williamsburg name. Yorma?
Yeah, even though he's from California. Okay. All right.
He's definitely in Williamsburg now.
What? Yeah.
Anyway,
The
so
Lonely Island's in LA.
she sees Yorma Tacone. Yorma sees her, and he's like, and she. I'm flustered right now.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm getting flustered. I love this.
There's too many guys that you like in this episode.
I know. So Marnie sees him and she's like, oh fuck, there's Yorma Tacone. And then Yorma Tacone goes, Maddie? He walks over, he's like, Maddie, how are you? You work here? And she's like, first of all, my name is Marnie.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, you work here? It's kind of depressing. And she's like, well, I'm sorry. Not every fucking art house is taking a curator, is looking for a curator right now. And he's like, wow, I like that. You're so sassy or whatever.
And then I like that he says the worst thing, but this is what any person that's like kind of close to 30 in this show says about young people is like, oh, I love your generation. When things just get hard, you just quit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It was like, I don't consider her not working the front desk at these art galleries.
Yeah.
That
wasn't like a good gig.
Yeah.
Like, also, she could be still applying for that, but have this job as of right now.
Also, what does she want to do? Like, we don't know enough about her.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
But, I mean, he just judges her so harshly right there.
Yeah. And she's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
I mean, he's negging before negging became like a thing that people...
Oh, no. Negging was a thing.
It was a thing, but it wasn't labeled as what it was.
Yeah, it was.
Point. Negging in 2013?
Oh, yeah. I read The Game by Neil Strauss with, like, Mystery and all those guys. The pickup artist book, like the OG one. It was an interesting book. When I was in college. And I graduated college in 2011.
Yeah. I feel like, I guess I'm just saying because, like, it hadn't, like, hit, like, social media, like, level of, like, people just calling it out as what it is at that point. But, like, he nags hard.
Yeah, and then he says something about, like, you're gonna fuck me. And
he's like, oh, when was the last time you had sex?
Yeah.
And she's just like, I'm like, what? He's like, no, come on, we're gonna go.
We're gonna have sex right now.
And she's like, I'm working.
No, I'm not. I'm working. And she, like, is being, like, real, like, you're a piece of shit. You can't talk to me like that. I'm at work. And then he's like, no, come on, let's go. And she's like, okay.
Yeah. He just follows along. And I'm like,
fucking folds.
Like, she's in the middle of a shift.
Yeah.
That business guy wants his drinks.
Right? And, like, she's, like, trashing him. And he's like, oh, I like this.
And he was with a group of people, too.
Yeah. She leaves her shift.
And I was thinking, like, oh, they're just going to, like, bang in a bathroom or something.
Mm-hmm.
No, they go on a whole adventure.
Yeah, he takes her to, like, his loft, his like studio thing.
Like, he lives in an old church, it looks like, or something.
It says office, maybe, like an old post office.
Yeah, it's like an old office building that's, like, turned into, like, just a converted space that's, like, now his, like, home, loft, workspace, artist.
Yeah, because he's an artist, and she that's what she trashed him about. She's like, you're a derivative fucking not talented, and anyone that knows art knows that you're not talented. Yeah. And then you see what he does. Like, they go to his loft, and the first thing you see is a dollhouse that looks like The Shining.
Yeah, it's got, like, red rum.
Yeah.
And, like, it's like a dollhouse that has, like, a horror, like, motif to it, like, turned over, like, cribs and stuff like that. And you're like, okay.
And Marnie's like, whoa, this is amazing. It's like, fuck you. And she's like, whoa, what's the blood made of? And Yorma's like, blood?
Yeah, I knew he was going to say blood.
What?
I knew he was going to say blood.
I knew he was going to say blood. Right. And he's like, you want to see, like, the most cool thing that I have? My best art thing ever? Yeah. And she's like, of course.
And I was like, yes, this is where it's going to get real weird.
Yeah.
And it kind of does.
So he's like, you see this wall of just kind of cables and, like, the backs of stuff? And he's like, climb in. And I didn't know what he was talking about when he was like, climb in.
I was just, it's a lot of stuff. Like, I didn't know where he was talking about.
I couldn't tell where she was going. And she's like, get in what? And he's like, get in. And
he, like, pulls this, like, little door.
Yeah, but we see it's the back of a TV eventually. Like an old TV.
Well, it's a room that's full of old TVs, like, stacked on. And, like, it's basically, like, enough that you couldn't lie down in. Yeah, you can just stand. It's like a closet. It's like of 3x3 square space. And it's, like, over encompassing. Like, you're just in a wall 360 of just random old TVs playing.
Like, so Marnie climbs in and he locks her in. And he's like...
And I'm like, this is where we get to a horror movie point, where this is going to become an episode of Saw.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was thinking.
There's going to be a Saw movie. I'm like, this guy just took this lady from work, got her trapped up.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is going to be great.
And so he plugs the TVs in, and he's like, all right, here we
go.
You're locked in. He plugs it in, and it's like all these nightmarish images. It's like babies crying, dogs eating other dogs and shit. Maggots. And Marnie's like, Booth?
Yeah.
And he's like making coffee. And then she's like, Booth? And then he's like...
Checking his email. He's got an AOL.
AOL, you've got mail.
Yeah.
Like, what? And then she's like, Booth! And then she sits down, and he's
then he started like
hammering something.
He's like hammering nails into like a doll.
And then this is all while one song is playing. So he's doing a lot of stuff in this like 3-minute span.
Well, I think it's supposed to be more time going past. I don't think the song is like, he's not playing like...
I think he's playing it.
Whatever. All right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That
I
was
think,
like the
I
weird
think it's a montage to show the
continuity.
passage of time, showing that she's in there for a while.
How long do
Like,
you think she
he's
was in
making
there for?
espresso. He's checking his
That's
email.
what I'm saying.
Like, I think a lot of time, I think she was in there for like 15 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with she was in there for 4 minutes, and he's just super fast.
No way. Just starting
Okay,
up.
let's say...
Let's
say with a coffee. Let's say he's got a Keurig
That's at
machine.
least. No, he didn't have a Keurig. He was making espresso in a like espresso maker.
He did have the kind of a maker thing.
Booting up AOL.
Yeah.
And checking your email. That's another 5 minutes.
All right, your passage of time thing, whatever.
You're
right.
Montage.
You're right, Vance.
It's
fine.
a montage.
So then he's like hammering nails into a doll.
So 3
or
hours later, she comes out of the stuff.
and he's like, "Oh fuck, I left that girl in my TV room."
Yeah.
Which I have to say, if it wasn't like nightmarish images, that actually would be pretty cool. Like, it's a cool kind of thing.
You wouldn't want to be in there longer than like...
Yeah, like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But
and
like,
you also wouldn't want to be locked in there without a chance to leave on your own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, if they had... What if it was... Because they're all old TVs, right?
Yeah.
What if it was like a nostalgia thing? They were showing like old Nickelodeon shows and like Disney Channel shit. And you'd be like, wow, this is fucking nice.
But it'd be sensory overload, because there'd be so many different things that you wouldn't be able to focus on one.
Yeah, it's kind of claustrophobic too.
Yeah.
So anyway, she comes out, stands up, and he's like, "What'd you think?" And she's just like, "What the fuck?" And I thought this is where it was gonna like turn to her being like, "What are you doing? Like, you suck."
Yeah.
And then he just hugs her, and she goes, "You're so fucking talented." And I was like, I lose all respect for Marnie. I don't care.
I just love that because she's into this weird art world, and like it's weirdly proving how weird his art is and how he's actually good at the art that he does.
Yeah,
but that's the world. That's that
maybe
art
I just
world.
don't appreciate art.
Well, no, I mean, this is supposed to be stupid looking.
Okay, right?
But her appreciating it is what people in the art world would do.
I remember I was dating a girl, the girl that broke into my apartment. She was like really into art, and we went to this museum for some kind of art exhibit. And I was just like, she was like looking at it all and like taking it in. And I was just I just don't get that kind of pretentious art shit. And I was just there like trashing all of it, and it was funny, but I felt like I definitely ruined it for her because she was there to have some kind of thing. But she should have known that I was going to have that reaction.
And this is before or after she stalked you?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
When she broke in, I don't know. I can't remember, but I remember just afterwards I felt bad because I felt like I ruined it for her.
Oh yeah.
But I just can't take that kind of shit seriously. Like, if Jorma Taccone, if I was at his installation or whatever, exhibit shit, I'd be like, this is dumb.
No,
Art's dumb.
You'd be so in awe of him.
Yeah,
you would be in the position that Marnie found herself in later.
Well, it's... Well, Marnie told him that he's a con man that then somehow convinces her.
But then she saw his art up close and personal, and she's like, "Oh shit, this is great."
Yeah, but I wish she was more about.
Yeah,
I know, but I don't like it.
That's the joke.
I don't like the joke, and I wish that she was smarter and stuck to her guns of like, you're a fucking con man, derivative loser. But she didn't, and now I'm disappointed in Marnie.
She's
One
been
of my favorite
She's
characters.
been a fan of his way before. She liked him before she even said. She was just trying to be mean at the place. She didn't even believe what she said at the restaurant because she was a fanboy of him already.
Yeah, I just lost respect. I just wanted her to be like the sassy, like get the fuck out of here.
That's never Marnie.
She used to be like one of my favorite characters in the show, and now she's one of my least favorite characters.
Yeah, she's not. No,
she's fallen way behind.
Oh yeah, she's not super likable. Well, let's go to what everyone's waiting for.
Yep.
Let's see what this guy who's a man.
He's a man. He knows how to do things. You'll be scared the first time that we have sex because I'm a man and I know how to do things. You'll be scared when you fuck him, all right? Because he forces you to look at a doll that you don't ever see the doll's face, but I'm assuming it's frightening.
Yeah, it's like one of those
like a porcelain doll,
Annabelle, Raggedy Ann dolls that's like tied to the bedpost.
Yeah, and is Marnie tied to the bedpost?
I feel like she is.
She's either tied to the bedpost or he's holding her down. He's definitely on top of her.
The positioning is, I wrote it down as starfishing.
Yeah.
Like, she's like flat down, arms spread, legs spread, and he's on top in the same position.
Yeah.
Just pounding away.
And he's like, look at the doll. Look at the doll. Yeah. What do you think? What is she feeling? She's like, she's feeling sassy. He goes, no, she's feeling sad. It's like.
But it's done in like Jorma Tacone's like voice. It's not an Adam way of saying it. It's more like, and it's just, I don't get that Marnie's enjoying herself during this whole time.
Yeah, the look on her face, she's like, I'm not enjoying myself at all. She's like, this is fucking stupid and this is weird.
Yeah. And he's like, are you on the pill? And she's like, yeah. And then he finishes.
Yeah, busts inside of her. And that's like really, like, even if she's on the pill, you should still ask, like, is it okay?
Well, you would hope that Marnie would be like, hey, put on a condom. Guy who just grabs people to have sex with.
True.
like, yeah.
Dude, Marnie's lost.
Yeah. And then
Marnie is lost,
Well,
dude.
he rolls off of her. And then she just starts, like, laughing.
Yeah. I thought that that's when I thought she was going to be like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
But no.
No, like.
She's, like, really pleased with herself that she fucked Booth Jonathan.
Yeah, like, and we find that out because she texts. Well, because Hannah's pissed off that this thing happened, and she gets a text of, like, Hannah's like, we need to talk, where are you? Or whatever. Yeah. And Marnie's like, I'm with Booth Jonathan. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And she's sitting on a toilet.
Booth Jonathan. Did he walk by while she was on the toilet?
Like a horror movie. Just like
yeah, that's what I was like, what the fuck was that? There's a lot of horror elements in this episode.
Yeah. Just in the background. Like, if it was a horror, that would be one of those jump scare moments.
Yeah.
But, so she's like, yeah, I'm at his place. And we find out that Hannah's like, yeah, she got with Booth Jonathan. And, like, we've been walking and stalking his place for a while now. And, like, I know where he lives. Let's all go there.
Yeah.
So that's where they're all headed to.
That's where Elijah, Hannah, and Laird are walking to. Yeah. And then they show up at Booth Jonathan's place. And they're knocking on the door, which I don't know how they reach through the fence to like knock on the door or whatever. But they're like
doorbell or something, or you can hear them talking outside.
You can hear them talking. They're like, "Where's Marnie? We're Marnie's friends. Let us in. Where's Marnie?" Yeah. And then Booth Johnson, Jorma Tacone just walks up to the door like, "Hello." Yeah. And Hannah's like, "Hi, we're here for Marnie. We're Marnie's friends. We're here to see her. Where is she?" And he's like,
and Marnie's like wearing a robe now. Yeah. Like she left work. And never went back.
She's definitely fired. If she's got this job in the next episode, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Well, but we won't see her work until 2 episodes from now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. She probably won't even be in the next episode. Yeah. Fucking show, dude. But she's definitely fired. But so Jorma looks at her as like, your friends are here? Yeah. And Marnie's like, Hannah? Elijah? Junkie? Like, what the fuck is going on? Why are you here? And Hannah like comes in, and this is where the big confrontation goes down.
Yeah, and I had some issues with this confrontation.
Yeah, me too.
First, once he lets them in, we don't see.
Yeah, he's gone.
Then again, like
he walks off.
He disappears. He's like, "Your friends are here. I'm out."
He walks off. Laird walks off. The junkie.
Yeah.
And Elijah kind of walks off, but then he returns later.
Well, he's kind of in like the background of the over Marnie.
Yeah.
the shot of Marnie.
So
but like, yeah, the guys are like, we're gonna walk away and let them have this.
Yeah, because this is a confrontation that needs to happen.
And Booth Johnson has like 3 strangers in his place now.
Yeah,
obviously
that are on
high.
drugs.
Yeah, and like, he's not like, what the hell is going on? He's just like, I'm out.
Yeah,
you guys have the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, do you want to take the lead on this one?
Do you want to? My notes are very
I don't really
scarce
remember
on this.
what she. So Hannah starts talking to Marnie.
Well, it's just a bunch of druggy gibberish.
It's gibberish, but then she's also like, I know about what you did, and the whole point of the argument is like, and
well, Elijah's also
Elijah's like
shining star of this.
Elijah's like, I told her.
Yeah, in the back, like way in the back, out of focus.
Yeah.
It's like Elijah told me that you two fucked, and she's like, I know that you and Elijah fucked, and then Elijah just, I told her in the
he's
back.
Like looking around
so
and
funny,
like, oh,
dude.
this house is nice.
Yeah,
like he's high and having the time of his life.
Yeah, man.
And Marnie's just there, and the whole argument that Hannah's making, like, I'm not the bad friend, you're the bad friend, and I think this harks back to when they had their big fight that kicked them out, which I thought they were past, like because they've hung out.
Dude, chicks never forget that shit.
Yeah, but like they'll bring it up. Like, but it seems like even they were past it after it happened. Like they were past enough that they still do stuff. Like they came to that party. Like she was at that party and she was like, "Are we cool?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're cool enough." And it's like, fine. And now this is what breaks. Whatever.
Yeah. So
and then like so Hannah's going on about this, and Marnie looks like she's about to start laughing. The acting in the scene, I wasn't sure if like.
Yeah, it's a fine line between the looks between laughing and crying it's a fine line.
But for me, it felt like Hannah did a lot of Lena Dunham did a lot of takes saying a bunch of random stuff that like half funny, half serious while she's saying it. Like it's very jokey, and then has that one moment of like, you're the bad friend, I'm the good friend, or whatever. Yeah. But it's a lot of ranting drug jokes, and I feel like Alison Williams is like as an actor, it's like just kind of cracking up watching Lena Dunham do this stuff and then trying to be like kind of sad about it. And we're getting like the best take of like, okay, this is as close to sad without her like fully breaking character. Yeah. That's what it felt. It just didn't feel like this big emotional scene like when they were yelling at each other and going back and forth. And that one I felt like
that one was still kind of jokey, but it was more...
Lena Dunham's going to throw in her quips and jokes, and like I felt like that was more on... Like, when Lena Dunham is doing it, it seems fine, but when Marnie's character's not a joke, laugh when she says stuff, her stuff is like scathing, kill you, I'm pissed, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, she will cut you to the core.
Yeah, so at this point, I'm thinking Marnie was going to be like either super hurt, or she's going to be like, well, it actually isn't a big deal. Like, she doesn't even put a fight back about like her being a...
Yeah, she's like, you're a bad friend. She's like, I know, I am a bad friend. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, jeez.
Like, damn,
like,
Jesus, okay.
Booth Jonathan fucked the fight out of her.
I know.
Like, she got no more fight for Hannah after this? I thought she'd be on top of the world.
Yeah. And then Elijah asks her if she wants Coke. Asks Marnie if she wants Coke. Marnie's just like, get the fuck out of here.
And she's like, kind of storms.
Yes, Marnie storms off, and then Hannah's like, Elijah, you need to fucking move out. Because you shouldn't have done that, and like, blah, blah, blah.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah, and that's what we both were like, no.
I kind of like their like weird, like, yeah, everyone. I mean, she needs a gay best friend.
I don't know. She needs that character in this show because he's funny.
Yeah, but they can, they'll, I mean, he wasn't in most of the first, like, I could see having too much of him being a problem. But, like, they just have to pare it back.
He's peppered in really good.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, I don't want to move out. She's like, I don't care. You have to. You're out. And he's like, but I don't want to.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know if you have to.
Yeah, you don't have to. You can't fucking... Okay, you're both on coke, number one. Tomorrow morning...
Lisa's still under Marnie's name, probably.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's like, that's it. You're out of here. Yeah. You're moving out. I'm going home. And Laird's like...
What if we never hear about this again?
Dude!
What if, like...
I wouldn't put it past the show, man.
He's just living there for the rest of the season, and she never brings up that she kicked him out.
That'd be on par for the course for girls. So then Laird walks her home. They're in the hallway, and he's like, well, this has been a great, thank you for giving me cocaine. It could have been my favorite drug, but it's not. And thank you for showing me this world. And she's like, okay, yeah, sure. And he extends his hand like to shake her hand. And she goes, Laird. And then just goes in for the smooch.
Yeah.
Start making out hardcore. And he's like, what's going on? Is this okay? Is it okay? Can I kiss you back? And she's like, yes, sure. And then so they start kissing and she goes, but it's only for tonight. For work.
Yeah.
For my article.
Yeah.
And he's like,
sure,
that's fine. Yeah. I don't care. And then so they start smooching.
And we see them kissing and it's so weird and
it's
awkward.
Bad.
And
it's bad. Bad smooching.
And they even do something I don't think they've done before where they like continue the sound over the credits a little bit, where he's like, oh, this is great. Oh, God.
Yeah, he's stoked because he's had a crush on Hannah for some reason. Who knows why. And that's the episode, everybody. That is episode 2 of season 2, episode 13 overall.
Episode 3 of season 2.
Episode 3. Whoops. Sorry. Who gives a fuck?
I think the people listening might.
This is where I just give up on the podcast. Podcast canceled.
If you made it this far, you might care a little bit.
Final thoughts on this episode, Vance? We doing the likability rankings?
I mean, I think they haven't changed much.
Yeah, Marnie's going to be.
It's going to be Jessa.
Shoshana's at the top. Jessa, then Hannah, then Marnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hannah did what we expect her to do, so I'm not even like that upset with her.
Yeah.
I can't believe Marnie didn't put up a little bit of a fight in that argument. Like that's why I brought up earlier. If you wish that this would have happened when they were sober, because I felt like we made something. They made some. I didn't think that Elijah sleeping with Marnie should have been a big deal, but we knew it was going to be a big deal. But then the way we've done it, it's not a big deal. But it is a big deal if it means Elijah's getting kicked out and that Marnie's friendship is
on the rocks.
On the rocks again.
Yeah.
Like it seems like, oh, those are big things to happen for it to happen in a way that seems so not serious.
Honestly, I don't think much would have been different if Hannah wasn't on drugs. Like I think that her reaction, like this reaction to me was similar to when they moved out. When she was kicking Marnie out or Marnie was like leaving, there were jokes in it, and it was like that stream of consciousness, kind of bullshit that Hannah does.
For me, it was like everyone was able to make a point, and you had to like choose sides. I feel like when we were debating it was like, which side are you on with it? This one, you're like, is Hannah just right now, or like a lot? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really, you know what I think it is? I really wanted Elijah to dive deep into his, he does bring it up, but it doesn't, it never gets a chance to, stick a little bit. His,
exploration?
No, not his exploration. His fact that, Hannah, you're making this all about you.
Yeah.
It doesn't really stick because then she just tries to kiss him, and then Laird walks by, and then, when he talks to Marnie, it's like, oh, Marnie doesn't double down on what Elijah had already said. There's no reinforcement of that. And then it's like, oh, Elijah, you're out. And it's nothing kind of, she doesn't feel any weight. You don't get a chance to see Lena Dunham, Hannah's character, process any of it. It's just immediate. I don't know. And I worry we won't see process of it.
Yeah, we won't. You know why? Because the next episode, the title is, It's a Shame About Ray.
Oh, no. Oh, no. What is Ray going to do to poor Shoshana?
I don't know, but
they already planted the seed of it not working out.
Just based off of that title alone, I don't think we're getting any answers from this episode. And this show...
And I'm excited to see Shoshana and Ray.
Yeah, I like Ray, Shoshana. I like their dynamic.
They planted the seed this episode of it not working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this show so often does, we're not going to get any answers, I don't think. It'll be an offhand comment. I lost my job. And just say, oh, I had an abortion.
Yeah. Abortion thing.
Where's Adam? Yeah. Is Adam still in jail?
Yeah. Well, Adam, I feel like we'll have Adam next episode.
Where's Charlie?
What happened? Last time we saw Charlie, what was he doing?
Fucking Charlie was at the party with them. I don't know, man.
All right. Yeah. Well, next episode.
Yeah. All right.
Joe, I would think you'd be more excited. This is your booth. This is what you've been waiting
Jonathan,
for.
Man.
This is what you've been waiting for.
Dude, I'm so happy he came back. I don't think he's going to be back ever again.
Oh, she's going to be living there. He's going to take care of her now that she doesn't have a job.
You think so? Is that where you think this is going?
I don't think this is where it's going, but I think he's in more than. I think he's in it.
Do you
a
think
couple more episodes at least?
The first time that you fucked him, you'd be afraid because he's a man who knows how to do things?
I'd be afraid because the Child Play movie scared me when I was younger, and him making me stare at a doll.
Yeah. I'd be afraid just because there's dolls everywhere.
And he has a murder pad.
Yeah.
You know?
He could really murder people there.
I don't know if you've read the book Devil in the White City.
No, I don't read.
You just said you only read those dating books.
I read the
artist
game.
books. That's the only book you've ever referenced on this.
I've read other books.
No,
Shut up.
You're illiterate.
I read other pickup artist books. Did you not read the game?
The game? No.
It was actually a pretty good book. It was
I had a
interesting.
roommate that had that.
It was interesting. You know what's funny and fascinating about all those pickup artist books is like people love to shit on those books. And I will say that 90% of the books are just like self-help books of like, you need to have confidence. You should go to the gym. You'll feel more confident in yourself. And then it's just that last 10% of like, and then you'll totally be fucking pussy, man. Yeah. You'll be in all the pussy that you want. Here's how I got threesomes where you're just like, well, you lost me now, dude.
Yeah.
That's where you lose me.
I think I would enjoy the book for the like human psychology of like process of like how people view things. Like, you know, like explaining why this works in this situation.
Dude,
like,
you want to hear a story about me actually applying the game in real life?
Is this safe for airing?
Yes. I read the game, and it was an interesting book. I'm going to be honest. It was interesting, and but reading some of the techniques they use to quote unquote pick up women, I was like, this is bullshit. Like, there's no way that this would work. And I think that's a lot of people's thought when they first come across it. So one day, this was when I was in college, I went to this bar at University of Maryland called R.J. Bentley's, and it's like, this is where like people go to dance. It's like a bar, people have good times or what. I don't know. I don't drink. I don't have good times. But
where humans try to have fun.
So I was there, and for some reason I was alone. I don't know what happened, but I saw this really just super, super hot girl. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just fucking swing for the fences. I'm going to try this pickup artist bullshit. One of the lines that they used if you're at a club or a bar where there's people dancing is you go up to a girl and you're like, you say, "Are you shy?" or something. And this is exactly how this went down for me. I went, "Hey, are you shy?" And she was like, "I mean, I guess a little. Why?" And I was like, "Because you've been standing here all night and you haven't asked me to dance." And Vance, when I tell you that this worked and I ended up making out with this girl, getting her number, and then going out with her again, I was blown away. And I told my roommate, who was a woman, about this happening, and she went, "Yeah, if you would have come up to me and said that, I would have slapped you across the face." I was like, "No, you wouldn't."
I gotta say, it's not a great line.
It's not great, but it worked. It's crazy.
Not great lines work when on certain people. Like she was happy to have someone talk to her.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It depends. I don't think that works with everybody.
She was so hot. It was ridiculous.
What weird advice. That was the key takeaway.
That was the line.
It was just that one line.
I never really tried it again, but I never tried like a line like that again. I'm sure there's some kind of shit that I've just picked up on from that, but when it came to like actually doing the line, like I've never like been. Well, I guess I do quote a peacock or whatever, but that's just dressing well. I don't know.
You wore a crop top to a.
Yeah, but that's just because I want to do that. I don't give a fuck about that shit.
You're peacocking.
But in terms of lines, that's the only time I've ever used that kind of shit, and it worked. So I'm sure. Look, dude,
Why wouldn't you not use it again if it worked?
I don't know. Because it just felt douchey. To be honest, like, it just felt douchey.
I feel like you will be crushed the time it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, it would not work so bad.
I also don't, not to fucking brag, I don't have a lot of trouble, like, talking to ladies.
Just talking to people in general is like your thing?
Vance, I do well. I'm going to quote my roommate at TIFF. I do well. That's his thing.
Okay.
This is a real weird ending of this episode.
I just wanted to pick you up because you were real down at the end.
Yeah.
It'll leave on a high note of you talking about your exploits.
Well, whatever. Stay tuned for the next episode. It's a shame about Ray. This has been Boys Watching Girls. Thank you guys for listening.